Hey, how's it going, guys? Hope all's well. The YouTube and TikTok event just ended 2 days ago, and I thought I'd give my review on each of the fights. I'm not going to discuss the full undercard like I don't know, Landon McBroom or FaZe Jarvis, just because I don't care, in all honesty. I just don't care about those fights. The fights I'm going to be talking about are the Deji and Vinnie Hacker fight, the Gibb and Taylor fight, and the main event, which was Bryce Hall versus Austin McBroom. I'm going to be splitting this up into different videos. So for one video, I'll do the Deji fight, and then the Gibb fight, and so on. So, yeah, let's start with the Deji fight. Yeah, I did not expect this to happen, if I'm in all honesty. This was a major upset. Vinnie Hacker completely destroyed Deji in this fight, and it was hard to watch because I was Team YouTube, but Vinny showed that he can pull the upset, and you got to give him respect for that. You know what I mean? Deji came out throwing all these looping shots while Vinny was, throwing more straight punches, in all honesty. And, Vinny, he seemed like he was naturally bigger guy, but taller guy anyway, so, he was doing a good job at maintaining the distance and landing the more effective punches. Deji looked like he was landing more punches than Vinny at points, but it seemed for the most part that when Vinny landed, it would do more damage rather than Deji landing. It would do, little to no damage. So with round one, I personally had Deji winning that round. I thought he was pushing the pace. I thought him coming out the way he did in the first round was the beginning of his downfall. I thought, it wasn't good really what he was doing. What I think he was trying to do, or what was going on in his mind was, I don't think this kid can box. I think, I'm just gonna go straight through him, and I'm not even gonna respect his power. I'm not gonna respect his boxing ability because, you can't just learn how to box in like a few months or whatever. Vinny or Deji was surprised by that. You know what I mean? Because as soon as Vinny came out and started landing all these punches on Deji's chin, it completely shocked Deji. You know what I mean? I still give that round to Deji. Technically speaking, he did land more punches. Vinny was still landing as well, and it seemed like his punches, were doing a lot of damage, but I still give the first round to Deji. It's close though. The second round, I thought Deji was winning the first half, first half of that fight, but then towards the end, he started to get clipped, so I don't know. That was also close. I think I would give Vinny that round just purely because he rocked Deji at the end. But yeah, and then the third round starts, and Deji, it seemed like he took a knee. I don't know why he did that. I don't know if it was that his legs were wobbly or that he was tired or something. But he seemed like he wasn't physically in it, and that's when Deji, I don't want to say he gave up because I don't want to be too harsh on these guys, but it seemed like, I don't want to say he gave up, but it seemed like more he was just looking to survive in that moment. And Vinny, he came out there, or he went out there, and he just dominated the rest of that round, and he got the stoppage. Yeah, man, like I said, I was not at all expecting this to go the way it went. I honestly, I thought Deji, my prediction was Deji by first round knockout, just because, like in my experience, people can act tough and whatever, right, when they go into a boxing gym, and be like, oh, I got this big chin, this granite chin. I'm a bodybuilder. All this stuff, right? And then they have their first sparring match. They try to knock their opponent out, and they end up losing. And I thought that was the same thing, or that's what I thought was going to happen with Vinnie. I thought he was not taking it seriously from the press conferences. It looked like he just wanted a cash grab, and he it showed that he actually wanted to win, which I thought he was just I didn't think he would take it this seriously. So I got to give him props for getting this win. You know what I mean? He stayed composed throughout the fight when Deji was coming forward and trying to make it an uncomfortable fight for him. And he stayed composed, and he threw straight punches, you know what I mean? While Deji was throwing looping punches. And looping punches, or straight punches I should say, always beat looping punches. You know what I mean? The most recent example of that was Garbrandt versus Font in the UFC. Garbrandt he's known for a guy who likes to throw hooks and all that stuff, while Garbrandt is more of a jab and cross strike type guy. So yeah, and it showed in this fight as well. Yeah, I don't know what happened with Deji in this fight. It seemed like maybe his cardio or something, or he may have underestimated Vinnie. I have no idea, but yeah, he didn't look right, if I'm honest. Which it sucks, I feel bad for Deji just because he's the only YouTuber who lost on this card. And it would have been nice to see him get a win. I guess Deji's game plan, it seemed he really wanted the knockout and just to go guns blazing and just, I guess make it uncomfortable for Vinnie. It reminds me of how Derek Chisora fights. Derek Chisora, he's the type of guy type of fighter who, pushes the pace, goes straight forward towards you, tries to make it as uncomfortable for you as possible. He holds you, and punches you at the same time. He'll, he lacks some technique, right? But I mean, he's good at making the fight uncomfortable for you. And Deji, in my opinion, did the same thing kind of. Although I felt like he was more just trying to force the knockout rather than, make it uncomfortable. You should never try to force a knockout in a fight, because once you do, you never know how hurt your opponent is, unless they're like wobbling all over the place. You never want to just go you never want to force it, right? You should always stay composed as possible, and once you sense the knockout and you're going to knock this guy out, then that's when you go for the knockout. But yeah, but credit to Vinnie, credit to him for showing respect at the end of the fight as well. Yeah, man, I was about to make a bet on Deji in this fight, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm so glad I didn't. It's just so weird because no one, I mean, if you were gonna make a bet on anyone in this fight, you would think that betting on Deji would be easy money, right? And now it's it's the exact opposite, exact opposite outcome happened. So yeah, it's I don't know, it is what it is. But yeah, Vinnie completely knocks out Deji, and yeah, overall, good performance by Vinnie. It was good. As for Deji, he needs to work on a lot of things, like not underestimating his opponent and all that. So yeah, but yeah, credit to both guys for going in there and fighting. And yeah, I'll do the next video I'll make is a review on Gibb versus Holder. So yeah, look out for that.